Hey guys, and welcome back to another fan design and history showcase. Where today we're gonna be doing a fan design and history showcase on the Asahi BG-9002, which unexpectedly has a longer history than you thought. Because, yeah, it's a really long history for this fan. So yeah, we'll get started on that. As you know, one of the first Asahi fans was the LS series, which I have here. Like, these were the first mini fans, like it was. But this design didn't last long because in around the year 2000, they released the LS8001. So the LS8001 looked incredibly similar to this, except being the fact that it's 8 inches and it has a normal blade instead of a banana blade. It had the same exact body, the motor configuration of the LS7001, and yeah, it had these grills as well. So it was already pretty obvious that Asahi did not make this like the first time. This is actually their second not really, because they made the LS8002 instead, which had a different base, but it had the same head almost as the LS8001, and it looked pretty cute, to be honest. But those two models didn't last very long. I don't remember when they got phased out, but they definitely got phased out and replaced with the LS9001, which had a different body, and it had the same motor though, the LS9001, like the design of this motor cover. We'll talk about that later. And the configuration itself, it had actual grills instead of like a front motor cover that acts as the rear grill, because that's what the LS I had, like the LS7001 I have. That's what it was. It was very vulnerable to breaking. So yeah, this is the BG. So, but before we talk about the BG, we'll have to talk about the other LS series first. So of course we have the LS9001, which replaced the old 8001 and 8002, which had these grills. So yeah, that's dead. But then they decided to release the LS9002, which is basically this fan exactly, except it doesn't have these grills. They have normal grills, and it's a pretty common fan to see. It's all of these are common fans. They're still in production, but yeah, it returned with the LS8001 body and the LS9001 motor. So yeah, and it finally introduced banana blades to the 9-inch fan area. So like the category, I don't know. Actually no, there were a lot more 9-inch banana bladers before Asahi, I think, but I don't remember exactly which brand. Might be Hanabishi, I actually don't remember though. Might have come out the same time though. So yeah, so here's basically the upgrade of that, the BG-9002. I don't know if you consider it an upgrade. Some don't, because some really hate these fishnet grills and probably hate the color as well because it looks old-timey. Honestly matches the aesthetic of my house more, not gonna lie. So yeah, let's talk about the changes between all those models then. So let's talk about the LS8001 body. This is exactly the same. So I'm just gonna call this the LS8001 body, even though it has evolved over years. So of course we have the Asahi logo. We have the rotary switch for 2 speeds. It's actually not rotary because it doesn't go like all the way to the end, like it's not reversible. So it's just a switch. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 1, and there's 0. Let's hear it. Not a very clicky switch. to be honest. I'd prefer a little more click out of my switches. So yeah. And here's the head, which is basically a new head, like the grills, not the blade or the motor set. But yeah, this is a new grill for the BG series because their old ones were 8-inch. This is for a 9-inch fan. And as you can notice, there's actually a gap between the badge. The LS9002 doesn't have that gap design near the badge, so it's kind of a unique feature to this. Like, it actually looks like it's bigger counterparts. But yeah, here's the motor area. Let's just turn around the fan. It's a small fan. So here's our motor area. It has this bulbous, like, it honestly looks like a skull. Like, I mean, here's the two eyes, there's its teeth, and there's this, it looks like a skull. I can't unsee it now, help. Okay, not talking about how this rear motor cover looks so much like a skull. Yeah, they basically used this since the LS9001, like back then. It hadn't changed ever since. Maybe the motor and size changes, like in the inside, the size of the motor actually changes a little bit, but the general design has not. Also, we have this. There are some exceptions to this. I'm pretty sure the LS9004, the one that looks like the NS series, doesn't look like this. I'm not sure, I'm gonna look that up. But the 9003, the 9005 also looks like this. So yeah, basically just their small fan back motor cover. And this is basically the neck they've always used back then. Damn, it's actually clicky. It actually has a spring in there. Unlike the the LS I have, it doesn't have a spring because it's only 7 inches. Why would it need a spring? So yeah, I guess there's nothing much to talk about this guy anymore. There's the side of it. So yeah, it has surprisingly a lot more history than you'd think, but it's still not very that long in the history. It's basically a new model. There's no changes between the banana blades. This is the first time they made an opaque one for like their 9-inch banana blades. But yeah, there's not really much else I can say. This is also the first time that they made this color scheme for these small fans. Like, they usually came in like black, blue, pink, or whatever else. They didn't come with white for some reason. So yeah, actually not white, this is like beige, more like of maca color. Even the TX series aren't exactly white, but it's a lot more whiter than this. This is actually a more prominent maca. So yeah, we'll get into the walk around.